wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for waiting, guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you.
Hello. Yes, now my mic should be working. So we're back with a top-down shooter, and we'll see how much we had done before and try to continue जितना हम लोग का बाकी था and हम लोग check करते वो सब चीज़ें. So last time we had done like kind of हाँ dash वाला system हम लोग ने ये create किया था. So this is basically the Niagara system that we had created last time. उसका खाली movement में I think थोड़ा सा issue था, but that is fixed now. So yeah, everything is working properly. So right now I have a dash in 4 directions. So like if I'm just standing still, it will dash in the forward direction, right में होगा, left में and back. तो ऐसा 4 directions में I've made, but it doesn't dash in like 8 directions. If I do like front and right, it won't dash there. So I may have to make that if I want an 8 directional dash, or for now this is also fine. So isme one thing was that we have now like two kind of weapons. So if we go here and check, I have like these two weapons. Okay, they're not getting scaled. I'll have to check this. But these two weapons have basically different properties here. So I have a damage and fire rate for my AR, which is like currently at a 0.4 rate, which I can upgrade to 0.3 and 0.2. This is like 0.2, and we can increase the damage, and with the shotgun we can increase the spread. So basically like this. This is the least amount of spread that we have created right now. 22 is the least, and fire rate also is something I can increase a little bit if I restart and try to get more souls from here. I can upgrade my fire rate to, let's say, 0.4, which is highest it goes. So like this is kind of like a very overpowered shotgun, so I'll probably have to tweak these values later on, but that's how we are updating our damage, our fire rate and spread. So if you want to see the default values, I'll have to go in my game instance and probably run that so that it deletes my slot, and then now I will load it again. And now if we check our default shotgun, so this is my default shotgun, there's basically a lot of spread and damage is less, fire rate is kind of less, you can see. So that is the default shotgun, which we can go here and upgrade. Okay. Hello Afridi. So next अभी क्या कर सकते हैं हम लोग. One thing I had discussed was that we can add another equipment. Right now we only have this grenade as our equipment. So grenade is kind of like, you can call it equipment or ability, whatever, which is basically doing an AoE kind of damage. So like this kind of. The damage currently is not being registered properly, but they die in a single hit basically. And I've also increased their speed as I added this dash mechanic, but this dash will also of course have a cooldown, because if it doesn't have a cooldown, our player can just do this basically, which is not something we want. So this dash will have a cooldown, and I'll have to see if this dash will be part of the game mechanic, or it will be one of the abilities that the player can switch through. So for example, grenade is one ability. You either have the option to have a grenade, or you have the option to have a dash. So one of those kind of things, and maybe we can add a third kind of ability, which I was checking, like the animations. If I check, so these are all like the animations that I have. Yeah, and this ability, I was thinking I can create like an area of effect around the player when it does this. So it's basically kind of like a grenade, but it does damage only around the player and not like on a projectile. So this is also like an ability that I can create in the game for the player, that the player can switch through. Okay, one of that, and then also currently the HUD may have some issues regarding this wave started and wave completed. So basically, as soon as the wave ends, if I start the wave instantly, my HUD will maybe bug out and it won't be visible. So for those reasons, I may have to tweak the HUD also a little bit. So yeah, let's solve almost all of our bugs. So in the HUD, this is what I'm doing. I play the animation for a wave started and wave completed, and when the animation is finished, that is when I actually toggle a player mode. So I think I should do this before like year. And also my interaction with this thing should not work if I am in the middle of like this wave started kind of screen or whatever. So right now you can see I can still interact with it. So this interaction should not work in my opinion. That's also something I'll have to make I think a boolean for, which is basically in middle of this animation. So when the wave has started, I can create a variable. Right now I don't know, like my wave has started. Maybe I can check if I'm in combat mode. And if I am in combat mode, then I can't interact. One is that, right? So this NPC wave starter, this should not work interacted with wave starter. This should not work if I am still in combat, or basically interactions will not work if I'm in combat. I can do that. So my interact key, wherever I'm trying to interact, this should not work if I'm in combat, which is true. It is not working. Yeah, it's not working. Like when once my wave starts, if I keep spamming A, it will not work. But the point is, I can still see the text there. I don't want to see like the interaction text, so I know that the player cannot interact with it. So that text is basically from because of this interact text. And if I'm in range of interaction, this is what happens. Okay, this is where I'm doing it. Okay, so here also basically I'll have to make kind of the same check. That if I am in combat mode, I will not do this. I don't want to interact. Same thing. If I'm in combat mode, I don't want this to happen. Actually, out of range can trigger. I feel like I'll have to check. If I go in the range, goes in, goes out. Okay. Now if I press E, the interact is still there, and it doesn't disappear. That's because the this thing is not being triggered then. What if I remove this? And also, once I do interact, I want to do this also, I think. If I go here, I press E, the interact kind of the text goes away. Now I have to see if the text actually comes back once I kill these enemies. And before trying to kill them, I want to increase my fire rate. So I'll go here, I'll upgrade my fire rate to let's say zero point 0.4, and because that thing is saved every time I press upgrade, my thing is saved. So if I go back here, I can upgrade it a little bit more. And I can also upgrade my damage. Okay, so now if I interact, so it will go off. I will try to kill these guys and wave completed. And now I can see, yeah, I can interact with it again. If I press E, the wave starts and all is nice, good. Okay, so it is working as intended. Now between the wave completed text, if I try to interact, I'll see if some bug happens or no. I press E, okay, the wave completed was done and the wave was started again. Okay, it's fine. चलेगा, it's fine. Wave completed, I press E, wave starts again. So basically the wave instantly starts as soon as I press E. If I don't want this interaction to appear until the wave completed is like completely gone. So what can I do? Basically, this should not happen till I do this. I can put it back here so that once the wave completed animation is completely done, like this, after finish, then I will do it back to exploration. तो अब एक बार ट्राई करते हैं. Wave started, still it is working even though my exploration mode was not on, I think. I don't think the wave completed was done. Have to add a breakpoint and check. यहाँ से ही मैं ट्राई करता हूँ खड़े खड़े, so that at least I know. Now it did. Okay. Still works. Yeah, so this thing is not being triggered. Still my camera, basically my thing is changed to exploration. Is it because of my waves? We have a wave starter. We also had like a wave system which was handling kind of everything. So like we have a spawner. Maybe every frame I can try and check if this is being reset or something. Because if I check when I'm in combat mode, my camera like zooms out. That's when I know the combat mode is starting. As soon as I kill all these enemies and I press E, like my camera goes down, which means if my camera zooms in, that just means this is running. So until this is not finished, I don't want this to start. I can check, is this animation basically being played? I can check is animation playing. So now if this is basically going on, this will not trigger. I press E, nothing happens. I'll have to test it again just to check. Wave starts again. Should not start. My bad. I just made a condition that if the animation is playing only then it will start the wave again, which was opposite. Okay. Now in the middle, if I press E, the camera zoomed out. That means, yeah, this interaction was working. Okay, I understand. This worked. This should not have worked. This is what basically it started another wave or something. Here I had checked this. If I'm in combat mode, this should not work correct. If I'm in exploration mode, only then my interaction will work. Cool. As soon as this is started and I do any of these things, which is basically here on interact, the text should not appear. I don't know क्या हो रहा है उधर. Like now the text doesn't appear when the wave is currently ongoing. As soon as the wave is done, the interact key is there. I press E, the camera zooms out. Now let me just see if the wave has actually started. Yeah, the wave has started. So the wave has started without the text saying the wave has started. Basically this thing is still working. Sorry, this is not working, but this is working. Because of course I went into exploration mode. I will have to check what my player mode is. It's not a global variable. When the wave is completed, this happens. The visibility is visible. It plays animation. Okay, this animation is basically of the zooming out. So it zooms out, or I think it zooms in this time because it is kind of like fading in. So it's zooming in, setting the visibility of this to turn off once it finishes. But if it hasn't finished yet, so anything I do with this should not happen. Cool. But then this is still playing this text. This text is still going visible. Why? In range of interaction is being triggered. So I'll have to check here. Player in range of interaction. Is this running every time my wave is completed? If it is, then I'll have to check why. Okay, player is in range. It's not in range. In range, okay. Oh, it's still in range. Okay. Probably because of this. We are in combat. Don't check for any kind of range interactions and just turn the visibility to off. Again, now this should not trigger once the wave is ongoing, hopefully. Wave is started. Okay, yeah, it's not being triggered. Okay. Now once the wave is over, I need to check. It is now being triggered. Okay. That's because of this. Because as soon as the thing is done, I'm checking my player mode, and my player mode is changing. Who is changing my player mode? Nobody is changing from here. So it's probably being changed. It wasn't being changed from here. This toggle player mode wasn't changing our actual player mode. I will have to do Control Shift F, which I usually never do because it searches through all the blueprints in your level. Okay, game mode is doing this. ठीक है. Handle player mode. Cam change mode. Okay. Is on the start. Okay. Who is running this? Someone is calling this. Okay, whenever an enemy died, if the wave is not in progress, you change the mode to exploration. I see. Because basically, whenever you get the last kill, you want the player to go in the exploration mode. And as soon as the player goes into exploration mode, this range of interaction is working. Okay. What I can do is I can trigger this after the wave completed text is done. Okay, basically here. Where is my game mode? My game mode, handle player mode, set it to exploration. Only after I have completed the wave completed text. Let us test. Now the interaction is not working. Yeah, once the text is done, then I can interact again. Cool. Then I press E, I interact again. I can't interact now because the wave is ongoing. Once I complete the wave, where are these guys? Wave is done, I still can't interact. I can't interact. Now that the text is gone, now I can interact. Okay. So a wave interaction bugs are solved. It only took 40 minutes. Wave completed, I can't press E. Yeah, now I can. I can even make the interaction capsule or the collision a bit forgiving so that the player can start from like this distance, it can interact with it. I can basically increase the interaction capsule range. Right now it's too close, so it's almost like I'm coming to hug this statue, which I don't want to because it's weird. Okay, that is solved. Now I want to create an actual new ability like this one. इसका कुछ नाम सोचना पड़ेगा एबिलिटी का. राइट नाउ दे हैव गिवन अ वेरी जेनरिक क्यू एबिलिटी. नहीं, ओ एबिलिटी है ये. ओ है या क्यू? नो, इट्स क्यू एबिलिटी. सो क्यू है ये एबिलिटी, वही हम लोग यहाँ क्रिएट करेंगे. Okay, also I need to fix this dash. Currently space bar पे जो हो रहा है, it technically comes under movement, so मुझे यहाँ पर रखना पड़ेगा, but because this has a timeline I can't put this all under a function. So you can see a lot of mess here. I can put this whole bit in a function called get direction and make it a pure function. Okay, a lot of the mess is now less messy. This is not useful. Setting it to be inactive, which is fine. Yeah, it's fine. This is basically my whole dash. Now I will have to move this here to make space for my dash, because like I said, dash is part of movement, so I want movement to be here. Okay, and now we can dash. Now the thing with dashing is, while we are dashing, we are not invulnerable. Also, I wanted to check if I can dash through enemies, because if I can, I should. I mean, if I can't, then it's a bug which I need to solve. Let me check the cheats are on. Yes. So if I dash here, yeah, I can dash through them. Now to check if I take damage or no, my cheats are off, and if I do like this, yeah, I'll have to do it in the middle of the animation to check if my player is getting damage. Actually, I know it is getting damage technically. While I'm dashing, there is no like way to make my player invulnerable. So I need to add a boolean probably to like an invulnerability kind of boolean. So invulnerable, if I have spelled it right. So my player will stay invulnerable till the dash is active. So basically from here it will stay invulnerable till I am finished. And when it is invulnerable, I don't want to take any damage. So whenever I take damage, first thing I check is my player invulnerable, because I can use that maybe in different abilities or different things. So as long as this is false and I don't have another kind of damage, yeah, this is the only damage I take. So I just check for vulnerability. But also there is no conditions to this dash. Now currently this dash will happen any time. For example, it can happen like this. I can do anytime the dash is basically it happens. So I'll need to add some conditions. I don't know what those conditions are right now. It's just basically a timer. I just need to add a timer between dashes. That's it, I think. So every time I dash, I just start a timer, I guess. I can set timer by just an event. Of maybe like 2 seconds, so I can only dash every 2 seconds. But if I do it like this, my dash will happen with a 2-second delay. So what I want to do is, every time I press space, I first have to check if this timer is still valid. The timer being called dash timer, I guess. And after 2 seconds, what it does is it just removes this timer. It clears and invalidates the timer. Okay. So whenever I press spacebar now, I want to just check if this thing is active, is valid timer handle. If that thing is valid, I don't dash, basically. I don't do anything. If that thing is not valid, I start my timer again of 2 seconds, and then I also start my dash, my actual dash. This is just like this. So instead of timer, I can also add technically a delay, but the reason I'm not adding a delay is because I will need to add a retriggerable delay, but I think this is better for me. I understand this better. So if this 2 seconds is still going on, nothing will happen. If those 2 seconds are over, it will start the 2 seconds again and it will do this. That's the point. So now I can't dash, and even after 2 seconds I can't dash. So if it is valid, I don't want to do anything. If it's not valid, I did clear it after 2 seconds. Is it not being cleared? Maybe I can check does timer exist. Yeah, now it works. So every 2 seconds basically I can dash. Okay, if I keep this like 1, I can dash every 1 second. So if I keep spamming space now, doesn't work because I can only do it 1 per second. And this can be my dash. Dash delay or whatever. Okay, and based on this timer I can also like start a timer if I want to, like maybe like in Valorant or something, when you know that your abilities can be regenerated and the ability is available again. So every time my dash is done after 1 second, which is kind of the same functionality like my grenade. So my grenade is kind of, you can see the grenade kind of regenerates. So I can do the same thing for my dash. If I want the dash to be not an exclusive thing but like an additional mechanic in the game, and maybe the grenade and the ability that we are about to create, which is like an AoE attack just around the player, maybe those two can be the exchangeable abilities and dash will be just a mandatory one. So one of those. Okay, so do we add the third ability now? And of course with this dashing mechanic, once the mechanic is introduced, I will keep it like maybe after 10 waves or something, this NPC like shows you this ability or gives you this ability or something, or gives you a suit or something which makes this ability possible, whatever it is. But after that the enemies will also have like an increased speed based on the waves, because this currently the speed of enemies, I did increase it, I think. मैंने when I introduced the dash, I think I increased. Because if like they're too slow for my dashing mechanic, I will have to increase their speed. Otherwise, it's like my character will never die. So either I make my game fast paced with this dash, and all of the enemies are also fast paced, and the player has to use the dash, or you just add dash as a exclusive ability that the player can choose and make himself basically overpowered if he wants to. So you don't want any ability to be like you are now unkillable. Right, because right now also our spawn timers are not being reduced between waves. Our enemies are still being spawned with a 1 second timer, and that's like constant between all waves, and that is one thing that should be addressed, I know, and I will address it, but just not right now. But that is one of the crucial things in increasing difficulty, is decreasing the spawn wave timers. Okay, so right now you can see I took almost just 1 bar of damage, like one hit. And if I practice enough, or if I have like health drops or something, or between waves I regen health, which I am about to add, or I thought I was going to add, if I do add that, I don't think my character will ever die. Because like I'm not even using the grenades and dash right now, and I'm still easily basically killing all the enemies. So it's looking too easy right now with all the mechanics in place. Fine. Fine. Okay, this is my grenade throw. This will be basically my, not my grenade throw, but my ability button, kind of, you can say. And I will have to create enum for the amount of abilities that my player has. Right now I only have one, so I have not created an enum, but you can see like we have a player mode, exploration and combat, same way. I will make a abilities kind of thing. I think I had created it for weapons. Yeah, I've created it for weapons. I'll also create it for abilities. I have a grenade ability, nerf MJ. I might have to. I either have two options. I can either nerf MJ or I can buff the whole game except MJ. तो या तो पूरा गेम ज़्यादा डिफ़िकल्ट करूँ या तो MJ को ज़्यादा डिफ़िकल्ट करूँ टू बेसिकली प्ले द गेम. बट ग्रेनेड हो गया. सेकेंड वो एबिलिटी का क्या नाम रखूँ मैं? I don't know, self explosion. It's kind of like magic only, so I'll keep it magic for now. I don't know what kind of ability it is. So I either can do either grenade or magic, and I can change the grenade magic using my shop. So between every waves I can go here to my equipment, and I can do like I can change my guns if I want to, and I can also change my grenade to my different ability. So I'll have to create it here. For example, I have my weapon, I think. I don't know. But just like my weapon, I will also have to add the option for ability. Abilities. And does the enum have a default? Okay, yeah. I'll just set it here. So default is set to grenade. If it's not, it can also be set to magic. Okay, right now I can do it from here only, grenade to magic, and based on what my enum is, this thing will change, whatever is working right now. I can do switch technically. So if it is grenade, I will do this. The only problem is I can't put this all in a function because I am using a play montage which does not go in a function. I am also using a timer by event which does not go in a function. I can technically do this in a function going by like set timer by function name, and I can set this trajectory, draw grenade trajectory here. I can do this. For this I can do play montage. I don't know if this works. Not this one. Play anim montage. This one can also be done in a function. So if I do use that, I can put this all into a function, which is not bad. Okay, I'll try it. Also, good thing I saw this grenade montage. No need to add a target. Set timer by function name, and this is my timer. Oops. 0.01 and looping. Self explosion, yes. MJ is too OP, so I'm deciding she should suicide once in a while. ठीक है, ये part will be in a function. Grenade throw, and this can also technically be a function. Yes, it can. So I can convert this event to a function. What? What? Can just do collapse to function. Oh wait. Okay, I'm resetting this here. Okay, I'll keep it here only. Fine. And now to actually do magic. So for magic we need a montage. I'll have to create this as a montage. Do they have any montages? No. Aiming, throwing. I have to do it on the whole body, so I can do anyone. AM. क्या था ये? एबिलिटी का कुछ नाम ही नहीं है. मैजिक. So on magic I will play montage. This one, AM magic montage. Let me check if this is set to montage. It does this. Okay. Also, when I release, I also want to check. If this is grenade only, then I will do all this stuff. Because magic के लिए I'm not holding the button on magic. Stomp ability, how kind of stomp works? Limit stomp. For now, I will call it stomp. So now when I stomp, I will have to do like some area damage. So apply radial damage I can do with the fall off, or I can just do apply damage and I will have to take basically an area. What do I take? A sphere collider. Technically it is a top down game, so the height doesn't matter, so all I need is just like the radius from above. Now this will have to sync with my actual visual representation. I will represent this with like maybe a particle system or something, so I will need to have the radius synced with that. But for now, if this is like a 400 thing and I keep it unhidden in game, I check, this is kind of the radius, not bad. Things should be a little bit smaller. Itna. If I press F1 on a component, वो ये पेज पे लेके जाता है. First time I saw this blueprints. It did not even take me to this component. Like वो थोड़ा फिर भी helpful होता है. Blueprints पे लेके गया. And my Unreal Engine froze. Like this moderator on a channel called Froze Taps. Okay, anyway, on that note, I was anyway about to take a break. तो अब ये क्रैश हो गया तो अच्छा है. तो we'll take a break and let's see break के बाद ये fix होता है कि नहीं, और I'll have to end the task and see what I lost because I did not save. I can see और probably एक दो component फिर से बनाना पड़ेगा. But yeah, I'll be right back after a break.
So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. much for waiting, guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes, and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes, and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for waiting, guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. So guys, thanks for watching and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for waiting guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. hope you're enjoying this session, guys. And just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. So guys, thanks for watching and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute.
ओके वो क्रैश हो ही गया था, हम लोग को रीस्टार्ट करना पड़ा. Okay, we have a spear. This is basically our stomp radius. This will overlap with our enemy. Now what I'll do is, whenever I right click, I will check overlapping, get the overlapping actors. What is this overlapping? For each, this will be my AI. And for each of those classes I will apply them damage. I will give them like 100 damage, I guess. Okay, so I'll have to test it with my enemies. And is my default ability set to, it's set to stomp. Okay, so now when I start my wave, I'll have to check. No, it's not. It doesn't look like it's giving any damage. So we are checking our stomp radius, and if that radius hits any kind of AI, then we are applying them this particular damage. Let's check in our AI. So this AI every time basically takes damage, it is checking the damage taken multiplier, and it is updating the percent and stuff like that. Okay, so this should work. I'll just add a breakpoint to see if we are actually damaging those enemies. So on right click, okay, yeah, doesn't work. So in the AI, if I check my mesh is a type of, it doesn't have any collision. So my hitbox is of type enemy, and it overlaps with only my bullets and my arrows. That's the issue. So right now my stomp radius is just a world static, nothing else. I can make it like a pawn or a bullet or something. Or no, sorry, not this, but I will have to change the type of this to bullet or something, because only if I make it bullet or arrow, only then it will work. Oh, collision query only. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is working now. So I can remove this and test. Kill that guy. Kill this guy. Also kill this guy. I'll have to just make it visible to see how far away it is actually working. Okay, all three are within range. If I right click, only two of them died. It only works on some of them. I don't know if it's because of this type set to bullet. I'll have to print all the names of the enemies that I am hitting, and also on interaction. Yeah, this is something I need to get rid of. So now 1, 2, and 3. If I right click, it only shows a name of 2 goblins and not 3. Why is that the case? Get overlapping actors, AI. It is a big radius, so maybe I just do query and physics, even though I know physics collisions are not something I need right now. I can do continuous collision detection. Let's try multi-body overlap. It only worked for the goblins and it doesn't work for the skeleton. Later on it works. Hmm. Do I remove the class filter and check? It gave damage to Leech and the 2 goblins. Now it only gave damage to 2 goblins. So it's not basically getting the overlapping actors. I don't know why is that the case. Okay. Now in the AI, it's probably like the hitbox or something is bugging out. Like is the capsule and the hitbox both are set to enemy. And this capsule is set to ignore my bullet, and only this hitbox is basically being set to overlap with my bullet and my arrow. What if I make a new collision profile? Call it like AOE, and I can set my stomp radius to be AoE and I will overlap with my enemies, and my enemy, basically only my capsule, will actually overlap with my AoE, and my hitbox will not. Okay. So it works for single skeletons, I know. If I start it again, hopefully like for multiple skellies, or for now I'll just take two of these guys. Try, it doesn't work. Maybe like when they are in the middle of a particular animation. No. No, they're both in the same like kind of animation. Still it doesn't work. Okay. Maybe every frame I'll just try to print this. Oh no, it will actually overwrite, I think. If I do this every time, if there's like two different enemies, it will overwrite it instead of add. So I'll have to keep an empty key and a duration of like 0.1, or just maybe the delta seconds. So I can see both these goblins right now in my thing. I can also see the skelly ranged. Yeah, all of them are available. Skelly range goes out of my range. It's now in the range. Yeah, from here it looks to be perfect. I'll have to create a copy. Or like maybe is the damage an issue? The damage can't be an issue because we are doing this. We will just apply damage for now. So we have AI Goblin 0, AI Goblin 1, AI Goblin 2. And if I right click, did not apply damage to one of them. What if I promote this? Then maybe like I check something. Because I don't know what the issue is since this is working properly. And maybe I'll have to create an array and keep track of, like, I'll have to keep adding enemies when they enter my radius and removing them when they do exit it, which is not actually convenient. Okay, I can see a skelly, a leech, and goblin minis. If I right click, all of them died. Okay, so first time it worked. Let's try again for the like 3 goblins or something. One goblin, 2, and one skelly. Okay, I right click, all of them die. Okay, once more I'll try. All 3 died. Okay, so all I did is basically promoted this to a variable and then use it. If I use it directly, there's some issue. Why is there an issue? I don't know. It's probably like on the same frame. It can't seem to take all of the actors that are in it or something, or the actors are being. Oh yeah, it's probably like when I when one or two of my enemies die, so this thing is updated, and then if it goes on to the next element, it doesn't find an element because two of them have died and my array now only has one of the actors. Yeah, probably something there happening because of that. It's better if I save it like this. These are all my enemies in stomp range. Okay, yeah, nothing else I need to do. So now just to test it again. So it works for one, works for this guy, works for this guy. And I know like my character is still moving while doing this. I can maybe keep it so that it stops the movement for like 2 seconds till the montage is over or something. If I start the wave again, I'll try to take all of these guys in my range and try to see if it works now. Okay, all of them are in my range. Hopefully, right click, all of them died. Nice. So it is working. Very OP ability, I know. But again, what I can do is the leeches may not get affected with this, something like that I can do. And for now, I want to stop my character while this is happening. So if I do take this node, I can say on completed, I can start my movement again. Like I can do stop character movements or stop active movement, stop input, disable input I can do. I just disable movement. So no movement will be possible when I do stomp. Then once this is complete, I will enable movement, or will I have to set movement mode? Yeah, I think I'll have to, because it says it sets movement mode to none, so I'll have to set movement mode to walking. So now my character stops moving as soon as it does this, and the montage it is over, it starts moving again. Okay, very simple fix. Yeah. And now maybe like we can add the or connect this part like to my HUD, so we can see how frequently we can do this. So before, with the grenade throw, we were spawning the grenade and everything, and we were starting this timer. And when I launched the grenade, I did this basically called grenade thrown. Instead of this, what I can do is call like ability used or something, because this is being used in my HUD. I know. Like we are doing start grenade timer on grenade thrown. So this is happening. So this image, whatever we are using here, will kind of be like a switcher, I guess, widget switcher, or just like a ability image we can keep. So this thing I can call ability ability used, because now that we have multiple abilities that we can use. And here this is my start ability timer, increase ability bar value. This is basically can use ability. So everywhere there was grenade, I just replaced that with ability. But not here. This I don't want to replace. But every time I use this, I check if I can throw ability or if I can use my ability. So I'm checking this here. I can check it maybe for every ability. Can I keep this in a function? Oh, I can. I can. So so I can check if can use ability is true. Only then we'll do this. And if this is false, like I was doing here, I don't do anything. If it is true, I set can use ability to false, and then I do whatever I want. I'll have to make a lot of space here. Cool. And now, yeah, also one last step, I think. This thing that I'm using, I have to also use it here. Call ability used. Oh, it crashed. So it probably crashed because it is checking for like my HUD or something, and it doesn't get it because the HUD is not being spawned yet, or some issue, some validity check that I forgot. But it's not giving me an error, it just crashed. So when I start, if I do right click, it will check this. This is true. It will play my montage. It will disable my movement. It will stomp everything in range, which is currently empty. And it will apply damage. I can check if this is valid, only then you can do this. But even if it's not, once this is completed, we can do ability used call. Once ability used is called here, we start our grenade timer. I changed all of this, didn't save. Ability bar. We check if this is stomp, we can use ability. If we can, we play this montage which is not empty. Disable movement, do our stuff and say that ability has been used. Yeah, I don't see anything that I have missed. Let's try it in the wave, then maybe I'll see. Right now I can see the logo. If I do this, logo appears again. Okay. Now if I do this outside of the wave, okay, it didn't crash. Yeah, it didn't crash. If I do it here, yeah, it doesn't crash. So I don't know what that crash was about. But this is basically, yeah, a stomp ability. And now to actually create the effect around my player to visually see where this ability will affect and to which player. No. To which player it will affect, so I'll do that after the break. Okay, we'll take a short break now.
So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes, and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for waiting, guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes, and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for waiting, guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. So guys, thanks for watching and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for waiting, guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching and we'll be right back within 5 minutes and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. So So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes, and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. Just wait for a few minutes and I'll be right back. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for waiting, guys, and I'll be there very soon. So guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be right back within 5 minutes, and we'll continue our session about making games in Unreal Engine. Until then, watch more about Game Institute. I hope you're enjoying this session, guys, and just wait a few minutes and I'll be right back with you.
Okay, we are back. So yes, now हम लोग को पार्टिकल इफेक्ट बनाना है.
घाटकोपर का एड्रेस पे आप आ जाइए या थाने की आप कहाँ आने वाले हो मुंबई में आओगे.
सो पार्टिकल्स हम लोग कोई भी ले सकते हैं वैसे तो. I can take like a blowing particle, just a directional burst also I can take, like this one. Boom, call it NS. What was I going to call it? Stomp. Okay. So this will kind of be like my radius of the area where I can spawn or do damage, basically my area of effect. So this will be in a shape, no velocity, shape of a ring. Right now there's been gravity and drag being applied. So instantaneously I will spawn like 100,000. The shape location, if I want to do it from like the whole ring and not just the outer edge of it, I can do random range by float, I guess, from 0 to 100, kind of like this. Okay, so this will kind of be my area. My lifetime will be 1.2, I guess.
देखिए हमारे पास एट प्रेजेंट काफ़ी स्टूडेंट्स हैं स्टार्टिंग में उनका कैसे भी हमारे तो आपको उनके साथ परमानेंट आना चाहिए तो उनके साथ भी रह सकते हैं किसी शेयरिंग में भी रह सकते हैं दोनों हम व्यवस्था करवा देंगे आपको
Sprite size, I'll just keep it
हाँ वो बेटर है ओके
uniform. 6, I guess. Let's check. It's not looping, so I will need to tell it to infinitely loop. And this needs to be the same as my player's radius, so this will, the shape location will be like 150 or maybe 500. Yeah, almost 500, I think. This is fine. 500, and burst will be, instead of 100k I'll make it 300k. Okay, basically a lot of particles just being spawning underneath. Now scale color is being used. If I don't scale the color, kill particles when the lifetime is done, so after 1 or 1.2 seconds I'll make another burst. This is basically inner circle, and this is like my outer ring. Okay, now this will spawn only outside. So like at 500 if I do.
Hello.
And if I keep the color to, let's say, something like orange. Yeah, something like this. Now this outer ring, basically I'll need it to go a bit up. So this drag has to be like kind of above. I'll add the drag. And I also need to add a wind force to this. Bye bye. Bye bye. Add a drag of 1 and then a wind force of 100. So this thing goes up. Okay, and just for now I'll just disable this circle. This is kind of how it looks like. Mass, I will just do direct set. Now I'll have to see what to do with this wind force. This is kind of like what I have to do, I think. And not all the particles should go up. This will be like 100 or 250. And yeah, like I said, not all the particles will go up, so probably take a random range from 0 to 250. It goes something like this. Or minimum should I keep? With this, also make this all GPU sim, because I think that's where the lag is pretty evident. Have to make it fixed. This will also be GPU sim. Now it's much smoother. And because this ring is a bit thin right now, what I can do is, this ring radius is set to 500. I can take it range from like 490 to 500, so this ring will be a little bit thicker. Like if I do 450, it will be like this. But I think 480 or 490 is fine. And the color will kind of be the same. Yeah, this is it, kinda like this. And I would not want this to loop. Okay, so delete this, and maybe I'll just spawn it now. So when this is like completed, I guess call ability used. Before that I will use spawn system at location. Where do we spawn it? Basically underneath our character, and this has to go further down here. We spawn ns stomp. Now the location has to be like, we can do a line trace to see the location. Or I can take my character location, and because my character capsule location is kind of like in the middle and my capsule height is 88, so I can do my location minus 88. If I do like get actor location, minus 88, auto destroy and auto activate. Okay, so this is an issue. On inclines it will not work properly. So we'll probably like have to check collisions. We'll have to make collisions around this thing if we are doing something like that, or for now just do like minus 50, and it's much better. And if I remove this now, or I hide this, now this is kind of how it looks. Also there needs to be a delay, because like when the character actually hits down, that is when I want to do this. So it's not too responsive right now. So in the montage, I will have to create like this, basically a notifier here, not a section but a notifier. Montage notify, I guess this is what I need to use. And do all of this on notify begin. Yeah. Hello, hello. This is kind of what I want. It's going off instantly. I can do it like with a increasing circle kind of thing, but if I have to test right now, in combat. So like it does 100 damage. It doesn't do damage over time, it's just like a one frame damage kind of a thing. But yeah, that's kind of our stomp ability. So if I do want to increase like this ring radius over time, this value I can do it like float from curve, and I can do it from 0, the value has to be 1, and on 1 second this value goes to 500. Yeah, but this ring radius happens instantaneously.
डन है वसूल हाँ कुछ नहीं करना पूरा टाइम पास कर लो ऊपर से रहेगा हाँ बोला था अच्छा दिन कर हाँ
Hmm.
निकल जाता है
If I do make it a float from curve and I do 0 to 1 and 1 to 500, it still won't work because this thing happens instantaneously and all of them are basically spawning at 0. So what I need to do is add a spawn rate of like, let's say 50,000.
इंग्लिश में नॉर्मल किया मैंने कितने कितने लगाते हैं मैंने पूछा भी नहीं मैं बोला तो टाइम हो जाए मैं तो बोला भी इससे बात कर रहा हूँ मैं
पैर क्यों लगा रहा है क्या है क्या
बारिश में कर रहा
पैर क्यों लगा रहा है हाथ से कैसे बुला सकते
है
हैं
वैसा ही बोलते हैं नहीं दूसरा से बोल रहा हूँ बता देना कुत्ते को बोला था
If I try to do vector from curve 0, 1, still doesn't change its scale mode.
भाई मेरे को ना इसमें से एक पसंद है तीनों एक को भी अटैक करेगा ना तीनों झुंड में आएंगे वो लोग बहुत मुश्किल है बाहर से दूर से मारूंगा उसको अलग कर दूँ नहीं आ गए देख ना लाइक
We can see like the particles are spawning, but the shape location basically is not like kind of changing over time. Because if I search by time,
नहीं इधर भी झुंड में अरे यार एक तो ये लोग झुंड में आते ना
I can probably multiply it by time.
देख इधर भी तीन के झुंड में चल रही है हाँ सर
500 multiply it by doesn't change anything. This is not what is needed really. Can do system edge. Directly set the initialized particle. Why does it go off? What? It should be just like a 1 second thing. I don't know why it goes above 1 second. Like this should not happen. It shouldn't go above 1 second. 1 second is when it should end. Yeah, it goes above 1 second, which is very weird. It's probably because of the spawn rate. If I remove the spawn rate, yeah, then it doesn't work because all of them are spawning like instantly. I'll have to do kill emitter and particles die instantly after 1 second. Yeah, kind of like this. Now the outside ring, maybe I also want that to have the same shape location like this one. I'll try to take this like from this location only. If I give it a spawn rate, it might fix things because after
Yes, sir.
yeah, then it's just doing like the whole thing. Kind of like this, which is not really needed. Yeah, so this is not what I will do, the spawn rate kind of thing. So this radius will basically, it will come like from a source, the location. I'll have to take this location, but I don't know if that will work. I'll see about that later. But our basic functionality is that it should work radially and not like in a whole instant kind of. Yeah, kinda like that. Go in the middle and try this. Gives 100 damage. Okay, and if you add like camera shake and stuff, it may look better. Right now these are just like normal sprites. Also what I can do, if I do add a sprite size of 60 and initialize just like one particle, it's fine. I'll keep it like this. I can actually also change this instantaneous time interval, but the only problem is that it will spawn like in gaps, which I don't want to happen. So it's fine for now, this mechanic that we've created. The only thing is that I just want all of this to be properly like covered. So I know the particle alpha is 1. This color obviously will not work with that. But the point is, if I do change the size, it may look like cleaner than before. Now, if I take the sprite, $50,000 is fine. Black part is not visible. That's the reason uh, you can't like do sprite materials. This default sprite material is not that good because it basically has this kind of opacity, which I do if I change the hardness to 1. It should solve it to like a bit. Yeah, the particles do look kind of hard. Yeah, a lot of particles like at the same place. They are doing a lot of emissiveness, if you will. So it's not like a simple base color, it's like proper emissive colors. So maybe I'll have to do like unlit material. This is unlit actually. But the emissiveness, it's like it keeps stacking over each other, which is not something I want. What if I take like cylinders? Maybe I'll have to take spheres. This is why I think like it's better to just take a cylinder. Not this one, this one. Just like basically plain circles, but they won't have any emissiveness on them. Then I can do it maybe like point 0.2. The spawn rate can go up to 50k. So yeah, something like that. If I want, I can do, or I can just stick to my sprite renders, work with that. Or I can just have a simple expanding circle. Lot of things I can do. The only problem with this is the emissiveness keeps stacking because of the size that I've increased. Like if this size is not that much, I will need to increase the spawn rate. But the problem is, even with this spawn rate, there will be gaps. Okay, so if I don't want there to be these many gaps, I'll have to reduce the size and make this particle be basically less emissive. But what is happening in the middle? It looks fine from here. This is like how the unlit version looks. And because of like no emissiveness, it looks much better. But now because of the emissiveness, the emissive keeps on stacking, and it just makes it a lot brighter for the eyes. So to avoid that, I'll just keep it at a low rate and a spawn rate of, let's say, 70k. So that it's okay if it has gaps in it, but at least the emissiveness doesn't stack. Either that, or I can create my own sprite material, which I probably will have to. Okay, so I think that's the part where we will end this session on and continue next time from here, and possibly like try to complete all the three. Like we have three abilities right now: a grenade, a dash, and this thing. So like I have this dash, this ability, and I have grenade. But the thing with grenade is either the grenade will work or this ability will work. The player will have a choice, like either the grenade and dash or the stomp and dash. So yeah, that's what we'll try to see. Like the player can go here and the player can switch between them, like the equipment here. Right now you can't switch, but that's what will give the player an option to switch and the option to upgrade the ability if he wants to or if they want to, and also the basically the next level of this, because right now this is one arena, so maybe he'll get the dash in the next arena, so which is why I'll need to make the next arena as soon as possible. We can test some things there. And yeah, that's it. If you have any doubts or anything regarding this or any suggestions, let me know, and we'll try to talk about it next time and try to fix some things that might not be working. And yeah, that was it. See you next time.